Hello and welcome to Top Fives, the show of everything. Top Fives, presented by the Sex Effects. I'm Joy Parati.
And I'm Sean Day.
And folks, I'm pretty excited for our show now. We got a good show.
Yeah, good
We have a
show. Good mixed bag
Yeah.
of top fives today.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. And we hope that you'll take a journey with us. Before we get to the journeying, Jonathan, how the hell are you?
I'm good, man. Kind of fresh from coming back from the Bay Area, dude. Honestly.
Were you here? Were you in the Bay?
I surprised a friend of mine for his birthday, my friend Joey.
Who was that? Me? Yeah.
Yeah, man. We had such a great time, man. It was really cool.
What a good time.
Small little get together with your fam and some friends, and yeah, man, that was so much fun. And just being able to I can't remember the last time I saw your family. It's probably been about a year now. But yeah, man, it was so much fun, celebrating your birthday and just having some drinks and hanging out and, playing some music and yeah.
Very good time. Very good time. Alicia, all Alicia had told me was hey, in the morning we're going to do whatever you want, but in the afternoon I have something planned and just go with it. And I said, okay. And I know how hard it is to keep secrets and stuff. So or surprises, whatever. I didn't ask any questions. I just rolled with it. So it was a genuine shock to me when we pulled up to my parents' house and knocked on the door, and you and Andrew opened the door, and I was just it felt very much
your mom was like, you guys have to do it. You guys have to do it. So
hell yeah. No, thanks. Big thanks. I mean, thank you for
cheers.
Driving cheers for driving all the way up just to surprise me, and Andrew and Danny and everyone, but then Alicia and my mom really kind of were the ones to put it all together, and I'm just so no one's ever done that for me. I'm very, very thankful. I'm not one to be celebrated, you know what I mean? It felt very much like the prodigal son. Because I've been back a year and a half now, I guess. And it's kind of the first time where I felt yes, I'm home. You know what I mean? Yeah. When I first moved back, I felt so out of place. I didn't, I just felt like an extra piece in everyone's life. No one knew what to do with me. And that's not on them. That's, everyone has their rhythm. They have their life. So it was a beautiful, beautiful moment and beautiful day just for me, and I'm so thankful. I'm really, really thankful. It was awesome. And yeah, we got to play music. That's the part of the night where my memory starts to get a bit fuzzy.
Yeah. All I remember is funny enough, I think we were playing some songs, songs that we knew, and then I know you started busting out some songs I've never heard you play before. So
what?
I think some Green Day songs, you know what?
FOD.
Yeah, I feel like we've probably tried maybe try to play that as the band, but yeah, but it was really cool. I think it was and it was cool because Andrew brought his little guitar too, and so we had a three-way guitar jam. Yeah,
my birthday wish come true.
Three-way all the way, dude. So. But yeah, it was so much fun, and I think trying to remember the night was I was pretty plastered by the end of it. So
it was a good night. It was a lot of gin.
Lots of gin, dude. Yeah,
a lot of gin. Yeah, it was great. But yeah, and then got back at 2 a.m, or maybe 1 or 2. I don't know. But I was fairly toasty, and I got a wonderful birthday present for my parents, this Lego that I've wanted for years now. And I ripped open the box, and Alicia was like, tomorrow, that's for tomorrow. And that's what I did all day after my birthday.
I know, dude, I want to see this thing. Oh man, it's a lot bigger than I thought it was, dude. What?
This thing is gigantic. I wanted to put it over there because I have one Batmobile over on my entertainment center.
Yeah.
This ain't gonna fit. So I gotta find some place.
Yo, that's
for
so
it.
awesome.
It took me 2 days to build. It's 3,300 pieces,
Dude, that's
and
freaking awesome.
there's a whole
Oh,
cockpit. If
whoa,
you
what?
turn the steering wheel, the wheels turn.
Oh
And
shit! So it's
then
got like
check this out. Guns.
what?
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Batman with guns, as our dear imaginary audience knows, but I will make an exception because that is so cool
That is so
on a
cool, man.
Lego. Yeah. So I'm 32.
Hell yeah, dude!
I'm
Lego for
32.
adults, brother.
Yes. Yes. I was looking up Lego's line yesterday. They have a whole 18 plus line. They've
Oh,
got like the Roman Colosseum, which is like almost 10,000 pieces.
damn, dude.
Yeah, it's like $700 or some crap. It's like it was wild. It was
Yeah,
wow.
that's pretty cool, man. Like, I mentioned off the air, I was like, man, I would love to, because I've been trying to get. I have like the DeLorean, but it's like the miniature version of it, and I
Do they have
know
a bigger one?
I have no idea. I haven't really looked into it, but I would think they would probably have like different scaled versions of it, especially with Lego. So,
Yeah,
yeah, I'm definitely looking into that because you know me with my Back to the Future love for Back to the Future. So I've
my
kind of
favorite.
kind of started a DeLorean collection. Like I was at like Walgreens the other day, and I found like this little DeLorean model, and
Ooh,
then yeah, ooh, what's the are you finding
I'm
anything?
sending I'm sending it to you right now. I didn't find the DeLorean, but it's their 18 plus.
Oh yes.
So give those a look. See,
Oh, hold on. Oh, oh, this is gonna
I
be
still
awesome.
I still want to do the Millennium Falcon someday.
Yo, and aren't there like different versions of that? Like there's like a,
There are. Yeah,
but like
I don't
almost like
want
a
the one with
full.
Ray.
Oh, I see.
I
That's
don't
like
want the sequel characters. I
the
want
yeah.
Han, Leia, Chewie, the
Oh my
droids.
god, dude, this website is awesome.
Yeah. Dude, my fingers still hurt. Like it
From
was
doing
intense
the
brick building past few days.
dude, I honestly I think it's probably one of my like when I built that little DeLorean, it was so much fun and it makes me think like yeah, Legos were like such a important like for me for my childhood like I loved building things and it taught you like imagination as far as like and creativity of like if you have your set that you can build and follow the instructions and if you're brave enough you can take it down and rebuild something else out of it, so I always felt like that was like the coolest part
Yeah.
about Legos.
That was, they always gave you the instructions, but for one setup, but they always gave you pictures for other things that you could do with it if you felt like it.
Exactly, yes. Yes, and I feel like I don't know if this recently, but I did watch this video on like Lego. I guess it's like Lego sculptors, like people who legit that's like their thing. They
Oh, the
make art.
designers and everything.
Yeah, either they make designs for Lego themselves, like for sets, or they do like I mean I saw this one of like a full scale like Corvette car,
Oh
and
man.
yeah, it's insane. And just like thinking of like all the different bricks and stuff compared to that. So,
This set came with a booklet. It's like this thick. It's the instructions,
what?
but but the first part is also they interview it took three designers
Oh, that's so
to
cool.
come up with that Batmobile, and they actually got it approved by Tim Burton. Um,
Oh, dude, that's
but
awesome.
yeah, but I mean, they took three people working on different parts of the car. Um, and just kind of explaining the process. Like I read that before I dove in and started building. It was just like,
With
okay,
that in
this is,
mind,
had my coffee and it was just like, I was very hungover, but I was so excited
yeah.
to get building. I started building this thing around 7:30 in the morning, went till 11:30 at night, and still wasn't done.
Fuck, man.
Took maybe 1 hour break.
Dude, that is so crazy. But
Yeah.
I can believe it for the amount of pieces and kind of the intricacies of the build. I think that's super cool, man. It's almost
Yeah.
like I wish like every weekend I could just build like a Lego set or something. So
Right. I wish I had that kind of dough. Like Legos are expensive.
yeah, man. And it's I'm gonna save that, bookmark that page. Yeah, they're expensive, and as you collect them, I'm not too much of a collector, I would say. I am starting my little DeLorean collection, but like Yeah, that's kind of the extent of it. I don't really collect too many things. So
Where's the space? You know, because these things are massive.
yeah,
I had
dude.
no idea this Batmobile would be this big. And I'm like, man, I would love the Millennium Falcon. I was like, where the fuck am I gonna put that if I ever
Yeah.
do get it? You know what I
You
mean?
you
Like
would have
that's
to have a
insane.
display for like that kind of
You would
thing.
have
You know
to.
what I
You would
mean?
have to. Yeah,
Just like
absolutely.
you know, when we're talking to like Sean with the like the figures and action figures and stuff,
Hmm.
like you get, yeah, some of that stuff you gotta have like a area for that and like a display case or and if it's like a collection of different things, like if you want to have all your Batman kind of things here, and then you want to have like your Star Wars stuff, it's all it's a thing, man. It's a true hobby.
Separated by IP and then size.
And size, yes.
Yeah, size matters.
Size matters, y'all. But yeah,
You
that's
know,
super cool, dude. I think when you sent me a picture of it, and then you sent me a little video of it, and when you showed it right now, I didn't realize how big it was until you held it up in front of the camera. So
it's hard to really fathom this. Every time I look at it, I go, that's bigger than I thought it was.
dude,
Um,
that's so awesome.
yeah, it's wild. It's wild. But yeah,
Tis
there
wild,
we
man.
there we go.
Dude, awesome.
But yeah, man. So thank you to everyone for probably the best birthday of my life. It was very good. Very good.
Very good time.
And someone else has an April birthday coming up.
Yeah, my birthday is on a strange day. It's on a Wednesday this year, and I have no idea what I'm doing. I might do.
Yeah.
I was thinking like a day trip somewhere, like kind of close in the area, would be kind of cool. And then maybe just come back and just get like super drunk with my roommates or something. So
That sounds like a brilliant day.
yeah, yeah. So we'll see how I was thinking like the beach would be kind of cool. Like there's Ventura Beach, which is just a few hours out of here. I
Is
mean,
there a
I
good
could.
nude beach?
There could be. I don't know about around here. But
You should go to a nude beach.
yeah,
You know, you got to wear your birthday suit on your birthday.
yeah.
Yeah.
My suit and tie and no bottoms. Maybe I don't know. But
That's a sight I want. I want to be there for
yeah.
that.
But yeah, man, it's like it's the second COVID birthday, man, this year, which
Yeah.
I mean, I have my second vaccine shot, which is super cool, and that's why we didn't really meet yesterday because I wasn't feeling very good. But yeah,
You're feeling better today.
I feel better. Yeah, I was just super like, it wasn't like, because they said the second shot you're supposed to get like more symptoms than the first one because it's I think like they call it a booster shot, so it's like has more of it in there.
Yeah.
But I just felt like really tired and just like no energy, so I just kind of like slept all day. I took
God,
a day off work, and that's all I did, dude. Honestly, so
damn. Yeah, that's intense, dude.
yeah. But you know what? Yeah, glad that's done, and then I'll be heading back up to the Bay for this little gig I'm doing, and I wish I could see you. Like I guess the invitation's open Thursday tomorrow if you want to drop by. I don't know what time we're leaving to go.
Oh, you're coming up. You're coming up tomorrow.
Tomorrow we're rehearsing at my family's house in the garage. So I don't know how long we're gonna be there because I think we have to check into the place we're staying at in San Jose. But I think we're supposed to be in town by like 2. So I don't know. My dad's been like, "Hey, you guys could rehearse, and then maybe like Joey, blind issues guys, you guys could like play for a little bit." So
And if Andrew's in, I'm in. I do work till 6, so I don't know.
yeah, I
I
think that
probably
might
wouldn't
be
be able to be there till like 7.
yeah. So I don't know if it's gonna happen tomorrow because yeah, I don't even know what the scheduling. For
Are you
this.
here through the weekend?
Yes, but I'll be in San Jose most of the weekend.
Mm,
And then I think we're heading back up Monday. But since we're already in San Jose, we might just like trek from there
that
back
makes
to
sense.
LA or
That
whatever.
makes
But
sense.
yeah, man, it's my first like. I mean, I've played at this church for like I don't know last 2 months, like in the park, like once a month. But this is kind of like my first gig back, like
Right
legit
on.
gig, just like playing and performing and stuff. So it's exciting, a little nervous. it's for the school, so it's gonna be.
So you got to watch your fucks and your shits, and
Yes.
unfortunately, yeah.
But it's exciting just to like play and set up equipment and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, man.
I'm excited for when we finally get to play a show again.
That too, and we have like we have some like new music on the horizon too. Like you know what I mean? I'm
I can't
excited.
remember if I showed you guys some new tunes or not the other night. I feel like I did, but I can't really remember.
I know you. I know I think you played Circus Witch, which is a song we're gonna release soon. Yeah, I think we played Circus Witch, and then there was like another song I think you played.
There's a couple others that I've been meaning to show you guys. I just can't remember if there's Sometimes, and then Anywhere with You is another one.
Ooh.
Working title.
I remember we played Ever the Afterthought, which
did we?
Yes,
We did. That's a fun one.
For anyone watching or listening, yeah, Joey and I, we have our duo group, the Sex Effects, and that was a song, kind of like one of the, we have an acoustic version, I think, of the song. We've been wanting to make it like a full band version.
I think it would work really well as a full band song.
Yeah,
which that was kind of always the genesis of the Sex Effects, was to kind of just write songs that would later then we would play as a full band. Yeah.
I don't know,
but then
dude.
we got into more acoustic stuff, and it does not all of it translates or would translate, but I'm excited for the ones that would.
I want to say this here and now. I know we should definitely release some music as Blind Issues this year.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, I think we should do like another Sex Effects EP, or at least a single of some sort.
I'm into it.
I know the Last Shadow Puppets has like kind of birthed that that idea in that group, that duo group, and I don't know, I've been wanting to still kind of take that approach to the Sex Effects songs, as far as like having like kind of orchestral.
I would love that
arrangements.
I would love that. Yeah.
So I've been messing around with more like orchestral stuff lately, which has been super cool.
Goodness.
Dude, yeah. So, and in fact, maybe a good tester would be to like take one of the songs that we've already done, and that's acoustic, and add those elements in there. So I don't know. I don't know what song it would be.
I wonder what maybe 1 to 2.
Actually, I think that would be. Yeah, that's a great idea, dude. Because actually, funny enough, that song, the demo or the recording that we had of it, had like strings in it, didn't it? Or it partially had strings.
It had viola because of that Connor who lived in the dorm, and he was like, "I play viola. You want to throw some viola on this?" We're like, "Yeah." So instead of a guitar solo, we have a viola solo on that.
Dude, indulge me on that. I will. I kind of want to put that together.
Hell
and
yeah!
I know we've been wanting to do a like a full band version and a faster version of that song, but I still really like it, like that kind of acoustic, almost kind of down tempoed version of the song. So I don't know. We got a lot of ideas happening right now.
This is exciting. This is exciting. Yeah. We are a buzzing. Yeah. Now where we are. Now are we?
I can't. I'm honestly. I can't think of any other like stuff that's happening. I'm just looking forward to the Mortal Kombat movie that's coming out this weekend.
Is that coming out already?
It's coming out, I think, on Friday, dude. It's the 16th of April. Which I'm gonna take the same approach as I took Kong versus Godzilla when I watched it.
You watched that?
I did, and you know what? Fuck it,
I'm not
why
judging.
not?
I'm just asking.
It's on HBO Max. It's free for me to technically watch.
Right.
And I'm gonna take the same approach I did with it. Is I'm not expecting like a great movie, but I'm expecting at least an entertaining good time. And
the trailer's badass.
The trailer's
everything I would want from a Mortal Kombat movie. That's awesome.
Yeah.
But do I really want a Mortal Kombat movie? That's the other question.
Yeah.
Do I need it?
It's probably going to be the same.
I don't need any of this shit, actually.
Yeah. I just want to see some fatalities.
Yeah.
Fatalities.
I wouldn't mind. I love Sub-Zero. He's so
Yeah,
badass. Just
Sub-Zero,
that.
dude. And you know
Yeah,
what's
man.
weird? It might subliminally make me want to pick up like a Mortal Kombat game again. I haven't played any of the latest versions, I think, but
I always want to go back to the 2D, to the Sega Genesis and
dude,
the Super
seriously,
Nintendo.
man. Yeah.
Genesis preferably because they had blood, and the Super Nintendo did not.
Yeah, oh man. I wonder if they have that anywhere.
There we go.
Can we get that anywhere?
Fam, I got my Genesis in a cabinet. Yeah.
See, Joey's set, man. Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
So that's kind of like, I mean, I'm gonna be gone all weekend, so I'm probably not gonna watch it until like next week. But I am pretty excited for that movie, just because it's something to look forward to, I guess.
Totally.
Especially
Why not?
this year. But yeah.
I had no idea it was out already. That's wild.
Yes, sir.
I'm so out of the loop.
No, it's good, man. That's kind of like,
Yeah.
I mean, that's been just like this whole year, man, of just like, and then, you know, HBO Max, and, you know, it's like, oh yeah, this movie's coming out now. Like, all right. Like, but I don't even know if they're putting it in
crazy.
theaters now, because I know Kong versus Godzilla they put out, I think, as a theater run, right?
I'm sure. I think it's a simultaneous release.
Well, okay, so they release it on HBO Max, and then they release it in theaters. Got you.
Yeah.
I don't, man.
So
I don't know, man.
I don't know.
I'm vaccinated now, so I feel like I can go to a movie theater, but I'm still not like comfortable going to a movie theater just yet. So,
Because I mean, the vaccination doesn't. It fortifies you, but it doesn't. You could still get it, right?
you could still get it, and either get it or pass it to someone, I think.
See, that's no good.
That's the tricky part. So
Yeah.
But I have changed my dating app status now. So I'm like, because I started noticing all the ladies were like fully vaccinated, and I'm like, oh wow, that's gonna be kind of like a thing for like a little bit.
It's absolutely gonna. I hadn't even thought about that. We're gonna have to talk offline after the program. I want to know all about your dating profile, and
Oh, it's okay.
I want to give you tips and tricks.
Honestly, I just kind of got back on it. I didn't really.
Good.
I didn't really. I wasn't as active on it, but yeah, I'm still on Bumble and Hinge so far.
Do you hear that, female imaginary audience?
Oh yeah.
Look for Sean on Bumble and Hinge. Are you on Tinder at all?
No, not yet. I haven't explored any of the other ones yet.
Why not Tinder? If you're into freaky
shit. Okay.
shit, there's Field.
Field, like FEIE.
No, FEELD.
Oh, weird. Oh, Field. Oh.
Like you're playing the field.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Don't use your real name on that one.
Yeah. That's one of those.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's Grinder.
Grinder.
Yeah.
Yeah, I might try. Tinder. I don't know which one.
Why not?
Which one do you prefer? Like out of all those ones you mentioned so far.
I think, you know, it's funny because I'm not even gonna say it. I'm gonna say it. Me and Elise we met through Tinder. But before that, I didn't have any luck on Tinder. Bumble I like because the female has to initiate the conversation, so it kind of takes away that piece of like, am I being a gross dude hitting up someone? You know what I mean? Like it's like, okay, if they want to talk to you, they're going to initiate the conversation. So I like that. Hinge, I think the design is the nicest. And you know, it gives you prompts, it gives you questions, it gives you kind of some data up top, smoker, non-smoker, kids, want kids, no kid, blah, 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 all that kind of stuff. That one only gives you like 15 swipes though, I think, a day. And for me, it was kind of like any other social media where I was just wasting time and just swipe, and then you're done for the day. And I was like, damn it.
Okay.
So I did spend money on Hinge. Yeah. But only once or twice, you know what I mean? Just like, you know, whatever. It's just more than anything, for me, it was, you know, if I match with someone, it was just even if we never had a date, it was just someone to talk to. It was just, you know, some texting back and forth, whatever. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't And that's all that I kind of needed at the moment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then, oh, you want to go on a date? All right. That was a lot of effort. Shit. But I can't recommend it enough, just because what did we do before this? Because I don't think you and I like dated. We never dated each other, sadly. But I mean, you know what I mean? Like, we found girls, and that was kind of, then we were in a thing. And I think there is something to be said about dating and going on many dates and meeting a bunch of people and seeing, okay, you're a nice person. You find out what your parameters are, and
Yeah.
And I actually ultimately process, but I don't know how we would have done it before. I really don't.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's always been, especially for us, it's, we've been in school, or like college, like being around kind of those social circles. You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah.
the
But if you're not
pool.
going to parties every other night and like,
Yeah.
where are you gonna? How are you gonna?
Yeah. And it's I don't know, like I feel, it's definitely a different thing, especially like dating apps are still kind of new to me. So that's kind of like, that little hump to get over, but I don't know, it's cool. I feel like I'm in a good place now, as far as just like I'm kind of ready to do that, or at least I'm just kind of I'm just, just curious. So we'll see.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we'll
That's
see.
awesome. You definitely need that. I hope your profile picture is that self-portrait that you have, and that nice button down. You're like, I took this,
Oh, I got you,
that's
man.
a sexy picture. That's a good picture.
Although
Yes,
I need to
bitch.
update on some photos, man. So
Yeah, man. Let me take some
yeah.
nudes with my wide lens,
Oh.
and we'll get it going.
Okay.
Yeah. All
I'll
right.
have to take you up on that, Joey.
I'm so excited for it. Jonathan,
Yes.
would you like to move into the list portion of our program?
Yeah, let's do it, dude. We got some interesting lists today.
I think we do.
I am very curious to see what is. Oh man, we got some interesting stuff. Do you want to go first, man, or
I'm happy to go first. Would you like to go first?
you go first, Joey?
I'm going to go first. So, April brings with it Easter. With Easter, I make a point of watching Jesus movies. I grew up Catholic. I don't associate with Catholicism anymore. Sorry, Mom. I wouldn't think of that I'm anything. And it's not that I don't necessarily, I submit that I don't know. And that's where I leave it. You know what I mean? I'm never going to tell anyone. If, to me, choosing a side is me saying that other person, what they believe in, is wrong. You know what I mean? So I submit that I don't know. Maybe there is, maybe there isn't. I don't know. But around this time, I do get kind of back in touch with my Catholic roots a little bit. And so I rewatched what I always watched around Easter, The Last Temptation of Christ, starring Willem Dafoe, directed by Martin Scorsese. Harvey Keitel's Judas, incredible stuff. Anyway, and I've kind of wandered down this rabbit hole of like, all right, now I'm watching YouTube videos. I want to learn more about the historical Jesus and, this kind of stuff. Anyway, it brings me all around to, Jonathan, there are so many religious movies. I think we grew up with a lot of religious movies. What are your top 5 religious movies?
Mine is gonna be very loose because there's a few movies in there that are surrounding kind of like Catholicism and
Honey, you're kind of fuzzy.
Hello. Oh,
I don't think
it's. Is that better? Oh no.
that's better. Oh,
Yo.
yo.
Oh no. Hello.
Oh, yes.
Better?
Yes, baby.
Better?
Fantastic.
Sorry. I have
You're
to
good.
Fix. Oh no. Yeah. So. So I have, for my number 5. I've got Passion of the Christ.
Ooh. Did you see this in the theater?
I feel like I did. Yes. I would
That was a
say
wild
yes.
experience.
Yeah. Hello.
Hello.
Oh, that's not good. Oh my god. Joey, give me like a second. I think I just need to switch out this cable real quick.
All right. Are they going to
Sorry.
still be able to hear me? Should I talk to the kids for a moment?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm just gonna turn this off.
So,
real quick.
so I'm going to try to entertain and keep the show going. Sometimes I'm tasked with this. It always seems like I'm the only one ever tasked with this, but I'm not complaining. I'm just saying. I'm making an observation. I'm drinking a High Noon. I don't know if it's still good. My brother and his lovely girlfriend brought these over on New Year's Eve. I haven't touched them, but it's kind of all I've got at the moment. I don't feel like diving into a Coors Light, so I'm diving into a High Noon because they were such a hit at my birthday, and it's good, but I don't know if it's still drink, if it's okay to drink. But I live life on the edge. I am dangerous, you see. So there we go. Also, quick note about the awesome Lego Batmobile. It comes with a stand. You put it on the stand, you can spin it around. It's really cool. It also comes with these figures. That's Vicky Vale, Kim Basinger, Michael Keaton Batman, and Jack Nicholson Joker. And you know what's this is, if you ever seen like behind the scenes photos of Batman 89 or even Batman Returns, the cowl doesn't have the symbol attached sometimes. So it's just this black blank space. And then the cowl or the bat symbol is this that they put on. So if you look closely, the figure has that little blank space where the symbol goes. And then when you put on the cowl, like that's attention to detail.
That is very detailed right there, man.
Yes.
That's
I'm
awesome.
a fan and I'm being serviced right there.
That is freaking awesome, dude.
Yes.
Sorry for that.
I'm glad you're back. I'm glad you're back.
Sorry for that.
It's okay. I think I was having a good moment with the imaginary audience. So
yeah, it's just this cable. I think just went a little bent a little bit.
That's all right. That's all right.
Yeah, Passion of the Christ. I believe
Passion of the Christ.
I believe I saw it in theaters, and man, that was a very intense look at Jesus' crucifixion, and man, I mean, not to go into too much detail, but yeah, just the scene where Jesus is being whipped across the back, and
that's the whole movie. That's not a scene. That is all the scenes.
Quite a bit of the movie there, and it's very graphic and gruesome looking. It was. I'm trying to remember how I felt when I like left the theater or like finished the movie. It just it was definitely a lot more graphic than especially when we were in school, and like how they were kind of showing us about Jesus's crucifixion and just the story behind that. So yeah,
I appreciate the graphic nature of it because that's probably as close to what it was like as we've ever seen. I mean, that life was brutal. That torture was brutal.
Yeah, and it's it's as far as filmmaking and Mel Gibson directed it, right? So just being able to showcase that side of it, it is pretty. I think a little bit of a what do you call it? Not fight back. Criticism.
Backlash.
Because
Big
of the
time
graphic
backlash.
Nature of it. But
it's like, what did you think Roman torture was like? Did you think it was like pushing him to the ground and be like, all right, let me help you back up?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. So yeah, it was
you
definitely
see hooks going to skin and just rip flesh off. I mean that and
it really it definitely weirdly, I mean, I wouldn't say weirdly enough, but like it put you in that kind of the shoes of Jesus Christ and just kind of what was going on during that time. So yeah, it was definitely graphic, and I think it's definitely a movie that was very polarizing at that moment. Because I don't know
Yeah.
if a lot of people were ready to see
And
that.
it came out on Ash Wednesday. I
Oh
remember
yeah, huh?
we went to see it. Me and my mom went with Judy Menina and I think her kids, and the theater was silent. I think there was one asshole eating popcorn, but no one had food, no one had drinks. It was like you were in church. Eh, that's and at that's what 2003 ish.
Yeah, around, yeah, yeah.
I was into it. You know what I mean? I was an altar server. I was, and I was like that was a moving experience for me. But yeah,
It was intense.
it's not an
Yeah,
easy movie,
it's not an
and
easy
there's some
movie to
really
watch.
bad CGI in that movie. That's what turned me off. I was like,
Yeah,
you're gonna be so authentic to have them speak Aramaic and to kind of show how brutal this is, and then you're gonna have a bad CGI single raindrop as like God's tear down to earth. Is like it's just come on, just you know
yeah.
there's my rant again. There's my episodic rant against CGI. We've lost 2 viewers during that,
No,
so sorry.
okay. But yeah, it definitely was polarizing for its time, and yeah, I think it definitely held some very deep graphic images that I can remember. Yeah, so Passion of the Christ for number 5. So some of these are gonna be kind of loosely religious, but they have religious themes in them, I would say.
I like it. I like it.
I've got number 4. I actually watched this with my dad recently. The Da Vinci Code, which is
Ooh, I see you.
It travels
You
that
like
line.
the Da Vinci Code?
You know what? I watched it with my dad, and I was stuck. I was glued to the TV, man. I was like,
That's
wow.
fair.
And I was trying to remember like how it kind of wrapped up, and I was like, oh, what was the story again? Like, oh, of course, I remember reading the book like a while back, and then yeah, it was very interesting to like watch the movie, and then it's like, I finished watching like WandaVision, and freaking Paul Bettany's in the movie playing that.
That's
albino
right. He's yes,
dude.
and he whips himself and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
So
I read that in high school.
Oh, really?
And then I couldn't get past Tom Hanks's hair. I couldn't get past the weird mullet thing.
It was.
I didn't watch it.
Although it was cool because it's like it took place in like Europe and stuff, and they're going like the Louvre and all that shit. So
I'll have to give that a rewatch. I'll have to revisit that.
yeah, and then spoiler, it's kind of about if there was pretty much a descendant to Jesus Christ, pretty much, right?
Right.
In the movie,
Like if he had brothers and sisters, right?
yeah, which does obviously the traditional thought of Jesus, having offspring and stuff like that. Of course,
He did not have relations.
He did not have relations.
Yes.
So it is a little bit, on the other side of the religion part. But I just thought it was a very interesting story, and it's just like, I guess, what should we call it? I guess like keeping or what's the word? Preserving the family, like the line and the lineage. And I thought that was very fascinating for like, like the society of like people who've kept the secret for like so many years, and then also like I think it has something to do with Mary Magdalene as well, and like where she's buried, or like where it was something with like the lineage of Mary Magdalene as well, and like where her body was like buried in secret and all that kind of stuff. So it was secret societies, like all this kind of stuff. It was a very interesting combination of those kind of things, and it had like a pinch of religion in there, I guess. So.
Well, it's all based on you need to have some religious knowledge.
Yeah,
and I think the story of Jesus and the virgin birth and all of that stuff is common knowledge at this point. I think 98% of the population could probably give you the gist of it. You know what I mean? Could give you the gist of who Jesus is and all that.
So, the Da Vinci Code for number 4.
That. All right, you've swayed me.
This one, I because I was looking at a list of like, okay, these would be considered religious movies, and this might be the one that's the finest line between like, okay, I think this is like, I think
Oh,
it's
I'm
how you
excited.
interpret it. I think. So I actually have The Green Mile on here as number 3, and
Interesting.
yeah, and I went down this rabbit hole of reading about how the character who kind of performs miracles in the prison is kind of might be a Jesus reincarnated, I would say.
Okay.
It's very I know that's kind of a very deep and it's like kind of hypothetical thing, but that's I read some stuff on it, and it made me think like, oh gosh, like yeah, maybe like he could be that kind of person, or this person, where did he get these, where did he get these gifts from, and like it's like unexplained too. So I don't know.
I like that take, and I like the fact that you have 2 Tom Hanks movies right in a row.
Oh yeah, I didn't even realize that. Yeah.
Wow.
And I love the Green Mile. It was shrouded in
It's a really good movie.
it's a nice little kind of very like mysterious, and we have kind of this character that heals and does certain things that in front of Tom Hanks's eyes in the movie is just it changes some of the characters in the movie and their kind of beliefs on things, and I just thought that was very interesting. And maybe because I read something on it that it tied it to kind of like, oh, maybe it might be some sort of reincarnation, or like some religious, it might have some underlying religious themes in there that could be related to that character. So that's a stretch, I know, but I really enjoyed that movie.
I not so much when you kind of break it down like that and think about it in that way.
Yeah.
So that's cool. That's really cool. Man, I want to watch it.
Yeah, I kind of want to watch that movie now
Nice.
too. So The Green Mile for number 3. I've got number 2. I actually mentioned this movie. What I think it was one of our previous lists. It was. Oh, I'm trying to remember which one it was, but I have The Life of Brian on here.
Yes.
Which is
historical epics.
It's a historical epic. It is kind of an I wouldn't say anti-Jesus movie, because they think Brian is the savior in the movie. But it has a lot of the same kind of themes of Jesus Christ and kind of the pathway of Jesus Christ. Obviously, it's a Monty Python production, so it's it has all this humor and all this kind of stuff. It plays a little lightly on those kind of themes, which is at the time, and I think some people might still think this way, it is kind of controversial, and it's kind of not as religious as people would think it is, but I don't know, it still does capture, if you think Brian is Jesus, kind of captures some of those moments and kind of the stages of his life in a way. But I still love like the Monty Python movies and stuff like that. So that's number 2.
I like it.
And then number 1, which I wouldn't say I recently saw, but it's been like maybe a few years ago I saw this, is The Book of Eli.
Ooh,
yeah.
I haven't seen it.
Oh man. I kind of don't want to say anything about it then, because like,
shit.
Yeah.
That good, huh?
It's I guess if you read the description, it might say it, but you got oh man, it's like, I don't know, I'm trying to remember when they reveal that in the movie, because it's tough. I almost don't want to say it, because it does kind of,
because it's Denzel wandering kind of a post-apocalyptic wasteland, right? Is that the gist of it?
That's the gist of it, and I'll just say he's protecting something throughout the movie. So
okay, and this came out what, 2013, somewhere around there, something like that.
I have it written 2010 actually. I did not realize it was that old until I looked it up, and yeah. So
wow, okay.
Yeah, Book of Eli, Denzel, of course, killing it always. Denzel in every movie he's in. Yeah, I think you'll like it. It's definitely, it's got some of the tropes of like the post-apocalyptic, it's like cannibals and shit like that. So, but
Hell yeah.
it's an interesting the way they kind of like have this character and just how they're able to kind of spin the story of this person protecting this thing. And you kind of see why, especially in a world where there's maybe no society or no, how maybe important that might be. So I'll leave it at that.
Okay,
And that's my
that sounds
five.
good. That sounds very good. I'm gonna check that out. I like your
Yeah.
top five, Shawnee. Mine are much more like orthodoxy and boring.
No, it's cool, man.
Um,
I haven't. I guess the honorable mention. I have seen like the Ten Commandments movie with
yeah,
Charlton Heston. I mean, that's. I mean, it's been a while since I've seen it, but I mean that's kind of like
it's very of its time.
yeah, but of course, like kind of traditional like movies about these characters like from these religions and stuff like that. So
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
right on. I like it. All right, you kind of. I'm gonna quickly go through honorable mentions, and then
Okay.
if that's all right, because I thought we'd have some crossover, so I wrote down quite a few.
Oh.
So there's Keeping the Faith, Edward Norton's directorial debut. He plays a priest, Ben Stiller plays a rabbi, and they both fall in love with the same girl.
I have not seen this movie.
It's cute. I like. Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's. I mean, it's not good, but it's watchable.
Keeping
You know what I
the
mean?
faith. Okay.
Keeping the Faith. Yeah. Weird movie for you would not associate Edward Norton with one, a religious movie, two, a romantic comedy. So Prince of Egypt, Val
Yeah.
Kilmer, I believe, plays Moses. Animated, it's very, I remember seeing that in the theater and it being like,
Yeah, dude.
when
Yeah.
they part the Red Sea, it's money. You said The Passion. I'm gonna say Mother.
That is one you've
Darren
recommended.
Aronofsky's.
Haven't seen it yet, dude.
So I mean, you can interpret it as many things. The first time I watched it, I was like, oh, this is a comment about artists and how artists ultimately are kind of selfish people. That was my takeaway. And then I was reading a review and they're like, no, it's Genesis. It's the Bible. It's the Old Testament. And then you read it and you watch it again with that and you're like, whoa.
Okay.
I love Mother. It's very minimalist. It's very surreal. So you really kind of take away what you are coming in with, your emotional baggage or whatever. You know what I mean? You're gonna see something different.
That's pretty cool, man. I like movies like that.
Yeah.
That you can see it at different angles and take away something different from it.
Because otherwise it's kind of oblique, but it's good. It's good. And then my last honorable mention is Scorsese's Silence with Liam Neeson, Andrew Garfield, and Adam Driver.
That's right. Man, all these movies, I gotta check these movies out, man.
Yeah. You need to be in the mood for Silence. It's 2.5 hours long in feudal 17th century Japan, and there's no score. It's all
interesting.
It's all the sounds of nature and birds chirping and that kind of. There's nothing
cool.
else.
Well, sound
So it's a very meditative experience. It's very good. Now to my top five. At number 5, I'm going to go with The Passion of Joan of Arc from 1928. Shout out to my buddy Roland for turning me on to this movie. It's a Criterion release. I do have the Criterion disc in my collection. But yeah, this movie it's a silent film and it's about the trial of Joan of Arc, and it's all almost entirely done in close-up. The actress they have playing Joan of Arc is so expressive. I'm almost crying talking about it, thinking of her performance. She's got these eyes, and she does so much with her face. Everyone does so much with their face. It looks like, do I want to say Rembrandt? It looks like a painting. The whole movie, is just incredible portraits of these figures. And I think because it's in black and white, because it's silent, you almost feel like you're watching the real Joan of Arc. You know what I mean? You're not watching some actress play her. You're watching a historical document or piece or something. Yeah, it's great. It's really great. Passion and Joan art for all you film nerds out there. For all the anti-film nerds, number 4, I've got Dogma, Kevin Smith's
Oh yeah,
Dogma.
Dogma.
I wouldn't say that I really particularly it's not my favorite of his, and it's not even near the top, but I love the message that it's kind of better to just have an idea, because you can't change faith. People die over faith, but you can have a conversation and you can change an idea. You know what I mean? You can find a middle ground with an idea. You can't do that with Dogma, right? So it's a weird religious movie filled with poop and sex jokes and
Great cameos
whatever.
too. A lot of people.
Wonderful cameos.
Yeah.
George Carlin as Cardinal Glick, Chris Rock as Rufus the Apostle, 13th Apostle, Salma Hayek, and then of course Ben Affleck, Matt Damon. It's a lot of. I mean, it was a lot of fun. I haven't watched it in a long time. It's a very hard movie to get a hold of. I have my DVD copy, but the Blu-ray goes for a lot of money, because I think it's like the only one of his movies still owned by the Weinsteins, so it's very hard to get. But yeah,
interesting. Okay. Okay.
It's kind of interesting. Yeah. Number 3, 1970 something, Jesus of Nazareth.
Oh,
6-hour.
That, yeah, I was about to say the yeah.
Robert Powell, Jesus. This is, when you think of the Bible, when you think of the story, like the complete true to faith story, this is it. You know what I mean? This is what I envisioned as a kid and what I believe, happened. It's a very, it's not storybook, but it's just kind of perfect in that it captures kind of the image. They tried to go for the old paintings of, it's a white Jesus, but you know what I mean? Like it's the imagery that unfortunately we grew up with and everything, but it's done so beautifully and with so much respect. It almost feels like the Godfather of Jesus movies, in the acting and in the way it's shot, and I don't know, just the general tone. There's a somberness to it. It's beautiful, really. It's a beautiful piece of work. A not beautiful piece of
You cut out for a little bit, Joey. Can you repeat that one more
did
time?
I cut out? All right.
Yeah.
I can repeat that. Number 4 is going to get me into trouble, but it's Larry Charles's Bill Maher's Religulous. And it's a documentary. Bill Maher goes around the world exploring different religions, talking to, the highest members in these religions. And he's being a dick, but some of his stuff is very cutting and it's very real. And sometimes they can't respond, or they don't have the answers, or he challenges people that have never once challenged their own kind of faith. For me, it's like a movie is not going to change your, if you have real faith, a movie or seeing a movie is not going to change that. So why not ask questions? Why not invite that kind of thing? So you can work out in your head, okay, yeah, of course, because this, and this. So I really love that aspect of Religulous. It really is. It makes you think not just about Christianity, but about all religions and the way it plays in the world and in politics and all. It looks at it from a very real world kind of cut and dry perspective, which I really appreciate.
I like Bill Maher too.
I do too. I like that he pisses off everyone.
Yeah,
I like that conservatives hate him and liberals hate him. I'm like, all right,
man.
I hate you some of the time and I hate you some other time, but I also like you part of the time. Number 1, could it be anything else? Scorsese's The Last Temptation of Christ. This is such how do I explain? So, growing up, we knew the story, the canon, right? Like what you're supposed to learn about Christianity. We had canon. This movie, I think you can really only appreciate it if you know that canon, right?
Yeah, okay.
Because it goes the same path and it'll take a left turn. And you're like, what? Jesus, like a tiger or a lion comes to Jesus in the desert, and then he picks up an axe and he's like, we will fight them with this. And then, like, there's wild stuff in this movie. And then at the crucifixion, it takes a wildly left turn. Can I go into spoilers? It's from 1988.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine.
He faces his last temptation. The whole portrait of Jesus, what's so interesting about Jesus in this movie is he has the same guilt that I think most Catholics grow up with and have. And he's portrayed as this person who, he hears the voices of God and he wants to reject it. And so he is a carpenter. He makes crosses for the Romans so that God will forsake him and, say, never mind, I don't want you anyway. And then once he finally kind of gives in, he's not always sure of himself and he's still scared. And he's very scared going up on the cross. He does not want to do it. Where I think kind of the classical depiction of Jesus is like, yeah, I'd rather not. But of course, you know what I mean? Where this Jesus is like, please don't make me do this. You know what I mean? Please. So he's on the cross and the angel comes to him and says, remember when God called to Abraham and said, he told him to kill Isaac, and then at the last moment told him not to do it? She's like, you've proven your worth. You've suffered. God loves you. He's pleased with you. Come down off the cross. And he's like, I'm not the Messiah. No, you're not the Messiah. And they're walking and they see a wedding procession. He's like, what is this? And she goes, a wedding. And for who? She goes, you. And this is where it gets people get up in arms about this shit. He marries Mary Magdalene. They have children, or she's pregnant. And then it looks like the angel maybe kills her.
Whoa.
She dies, and Jesus is distraught. And the angel says one of the most misogynistic lines I've ever heard in a movie. There's only one woman on this, in this world, one woman with many faces. So Jesus goes and marries not one, but two sisters, and they have a bunch of kids. So this is a very, very unorthodox, sacrilegious view of Jesus. But wait. So then they're walking and they see Paul. St. Paul, is that it? Saul, who was, I forget his name before he became Saul, but basically he was a guy going around killing Christians. And then he was like, and then one day God told me, how dare you, blah, blah, blah. He's like, and then it was Jesus, and he's preaching about Jesus and how Jesus died for our sins on the cross, blah, blah, blah. And Willem Dafoe walks by. He's like, what are you telling these people? I'm him. I didn't do that. Don't tell these lies about me. And he's like, and then he kind of gives you this very interesting take on religion, which is like, I don't care if you are him. The people need to hear this story, so I'm going to give them this story. Even though he's feeding them lies, it's helping them. So there's that kind of angle too. Like, is he controlling these people? Is it through just a story? Blah, blah, blah. It asks questions, and I appreciate that. Jesus grows old. He's on his deathbed, and the apostles come to see him, and they're like, yo, Judas is still pissed at you. Because in this version, Judas is the guy, where I think most depictions it's either Mary Magdalene or it's Peter. And this one is Judas. And basically he's Jesus' best friend. He cuts through all the bullshit. And Jesus is like, you have to turn me over because you're the strongest. So it's not that he betrayed Jesus. It's that Jesus was like, you need to betray me for this to happen.
Yeah.
So
interesting.
Judas is pissed. He's like, I upheld my end of the bargain. You didn't. It's like, but the angel told me I didn't have to die. He's like, it's Satan, you idiot. And then the angel bursts into flame, and she's like, ah, ha, ha, ha. Got you. And Jesus crawls out of bed, and he crawls back up, and he's like, I want to be the Messiah. I'm so sorry. Ask for forgiveness, and boom, he's back on the cross. And yeah, and he's like, it's accomplished. And he dies. And that's where the movie ends. And, kind of beautifully, the film cuts out too. So it fades to white and then goes to all these crazy colors because the film got exposed or something happened to it. So just by chance. But anyway, so it ultimately does come back around that Jesus is in line with canonical Jesus, if you want to call him that, but like he faces this last temptation, and it's kind of like a dream sequence more than anything else. But so I don't think there shouldn't be that much controversy around it. I understand why, but I think what it's trying to say is really kind of beautiful, and it gives us the only human depiction of Jesus, where the others make him a god. So this is, I don't know.
That's interesting. Yeah, I like that, dude. I like that take
Yeah,
on it.
I like it too.
Yeah, I have not seen that one in its entirety. That movie.
It's a tough one.
I remember
Peter Gabriel did the music.
I remember you've shown me some scenes from it, and it's definitely for William Dafoe. It's probably one of his highlighted movies, I would say. But yeah, I would definitely love to check it out. And now with that, like how you've kind of described it and talked about, I think that's an interesting way to look at it. And like, if I watch it, I'll definitely go into it like that, with those eyes.
I apologize for totally. You can spoil the shit out of.
Oh no,
Book
no,
of Eli for me. I'm so sorry.
You're good.
But yeah, because I went into it with. I remember in religion, Mr. Bear told us the whole thing, and so I came into it with that knowledge, which I think helps. But it's still a wild ride. I showed it to Alicia. I think on Easter, and we're just like, this is, and because whenever I watch it, I kind of have it on in the background, you know what I mean? It's hard for me to sit and concentrate, but it's the first time I really watched it with somebody, and we're having a good time with it. Like it's a fun time, weirdly to say, but yeah,
well, Scorsese too, man.
Yes, sir.
I like that, dude. I love how we had different movies. They some of them kind of were based around religion. Some of them kind of had like interpretations of religion. Some of them kind of remind us of when we were in school and going to Catholic school and stuff like that. So I think that it's interesting. I'm just trying to think of like any other, even recently I haven't really watched anything that has that. Maybe. It makes me now curious about Mother because like
Mother's so good.
Just like saying like hey, you can take away what you want to take away from it. I think is very interesting for a movie to kind of give you that that option of like, hey, you can kind of interpret this how you want it to be. So that one makes me really interested, and you've recommended it enough on to me, so like I should eventually watch that movie.
I know it's a tough one. It's a tough one to recommend. Like people have very strong feelings about this movie, and people who like Dan Rodriguez, I would think that this movie would be right up his alley. He's like, I hate Mother. So,
dude, okay. I'll take a I'll watch.
I think it's good
for sure. Because I want to make my own kind of thoughts on it and see where it takes me.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, good top 5, dude. I like that.
Thank you. Good top 5 to you, sir. Do you have a list for me?
Yeah. This one is top 5. I mean, it could go both ways. I think on our original a list was room posters or posters that were on the walls in your room when you were like growing up or but yeah, I don't know. I guess that's the.
I love this.
Yeah, let's do that. so what are your top 5 room posters?
All right, number 5. I had a Joker poster as a kid that scared the shit out of me. Ooh. I was like too young to have this. I want to say, what I remember is the Brian Bolin image of him coming out of the vat of chemicals from The Killing Joke, with his fingers in his hair and that's what I think it was, but my dad's like, no, I've shown him the image. He's like, no, that's not what it was. And one of their family friends gave it to me. I can't remember who, but that poster hung above my dresser and it scared the shit out of me.
Damn. All right.
I think they had to hide it in the closet a couple times. But yeah. Number 4, this isn't a poster, so it's cheating a bit, but Gatorade gave away these, or not gave away, you had to like send in for them and blah, blah, blah. But they were these big gold basketball cards of Michael Jordan. And we collected the whole set. It went on for months, and we got all like 12 of them or whatever it was. And my folks brought us to Aaron Brothers and got it all matted and framed. I
Yo,
think my
that's
brother
cool.
still has it. I think my brother still has it. But yeah, it's actually very cool. And it would, it hung on our wall. It was, yeah,
Dude,
pretty awesome.
wow. Yeah, hopefully your brother kept those, man, because
I think he did.
they're probably they're probably worth something.
I'm gonna see if I can get a picture and then edit that into the show
Ooh.
here. Number 3, I got a pretty cool print of The Godfather, that famous image of, Vito, Michael, Sonny, Fredo all standing in their tuxes on the wedding day from the first movie, and it was framed. Yeah, so that
Oh,
was
you
in
know
my
what?
room first, and I brought it to college, and
I remember that poster. Yeah.
yeah, it's a good one. It's perfect frat boy kind of,
Yeah, I was about to say it
you
was
know.
perfect frat kind
Yeah,
of. Yeah.
yeah. Number 2, I had the Army of Darkness, like one sheet but blown up. That was above my dresser for a long time.
Ooh.
Where I think it's is it Drew Struzan? I don't know if it's Drew Struzan. It might be. But where he's like standing on the car, his foot on the tire, the chainsaw in his
Chainsaw.
hand,
Yeah.
and Beth Davids is like around his leg.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Very classic hero pose. Great. I love that. That's such a good one sheet. Number 1, could it be anything else? It's Cash at San Quentin flipping the bird. I believe Didi O'Connor gave me that for my birthday one year.
Shout out to Didi.
Shout out. But it was a massive poster, and it was just, that's such a cool, you can claim Cash for country all you want. That dude is rock and roll through and through.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. It's a very powerful image too when you like look at it. Just him flipping you off like.
Oh yeah. In that tracksuit kind of thing. Oh,
yeah.
perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yes.
Oh, it's funny you mentioned some of these posters because I remember a few of those. Yeah, the Army of Darkness. Not Army of Darkness. Evil Dead. Sorry, Evil Dead. Army of Darkness. You said
Army of Darkness.
Army of Darkness. And then
I wish I had the Evil Dead 2 poster. That's such the black backdrop with the skull, with the eyes.
Yeah.
So sick.
Yeah, man. I'm trying to remember. Didn't you also have an Austin Powers poster?
I was trying to remember if I did. We watched 2 and then 1 the other night. And I was like, I had the blow up furniture. I had like the window stickers.
Yeah, that was it. I think that's what I'm remembering is the window stickers.
I couldn't remember about a poster though, but I had the McFarlane action figures. I was really into fucking Austin Powers.
Man, that deserves a rewatch too. I haven't seen that. I think I saw Spy Who Shagged Me like last year, but
Spy Who Shagged Me, I'll throw that on every couple months. It's so good. It's a masterpiece.
It's a good flick, man, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, man. I'm trying to think of all the posters that were in my room. I'm
excited to hear your list.
Yeah, I can imagine a few of them. This one I remember. I think we had this one in college, but I remember I had a Beatles like Hard Day's Night poster.
Ooh, yeah.
And I feel like we had, I don't know if it was Beatles Hard Day's Night, but when we were in college, I think we had this big, did we have this big Beatles poster? It was like legit. It was like a, not the average size poster. Do you remember that one?
Was it Abbey Road?
It might have been Abbey Road, where they're with all the the recording gear and stuff, or they had the headphones on.
No,
but
you'd have to show me an image.
Yeah,
I don't remember that.
I feel like,
was it Let It Be?
It might have been either Let It Be or you might be right. The Abbey Road, like it. I remember they had like studio gear in it, but the one I remember I had was the Hard Days, like the Hard Days Night cover. But that one in particular, though, from college, really sticks out to me. Which is that I think it's that one. It's a huge poster, and I can't remember how he got it. It was, it was either like Nick's, like Nick Reeves. I think it was either his like poster or like we got it like donated by someone or something like that. So
Wow. Interesting. I can't
I will
imagine
see if
this
I
at
can
the
find a
moment.
photo of it and send it to you because
Please.
after the show because I can remember it's like I think it's like the four of them. I remember someone had headphones on, so it must have been something with like Abbey Road Studios or like them recording or something like that. And it was a huge
Not
poster. It was I don't know I can't remember the dimensions or what size, but it was like the size of a blanket. Like it looked just huge.
Are you sure it wasn't Let It Be?
It might have been Let It Be, but I could have sworn they were like recording or something in it. But here we got Joey in the chat here. Let's see.
See?
It's not that. Yeah.
It's not that? Damn.
Yeah. I'm trying to. Let's see. Beatles.
Was it black and white?
It was black and white.
With like the Beatles logo in white print near a corner?
Oh, I'm trying to remember that. Beatles.
Because like that's but I can't picture an image to save life. Where was it in your apartment?
It was like so it was our East Campus apartment, and it was, I guess, as you entered, it was like in the living room for like a brief moment. And I'm trying to remember how we got that poster. I bet you it was Nick's poster, and we were trying to dress up the place a little bit. But I'll find it later and see if I can, because maybe it might not be something based off like any of the artwork from the from their their discography and the albums and stuff. So I'm just trying to remember where. Maybe it's Abbey Road Studios, because I can remember this very distinctly.
Man.
And once I find it, I will send it to you. But yeah, that it's a Beatles poster. It's pretty much like an early Beatles poster. And then I had from when I was in my room, not in college, but yeah, I remember it was was it the Abbey Road? No, what was I saying? The Abbey Road. It was Abbey Road. No. Oh God! Now I'm thinking of both posters. But anyways, yeah, it was one of those posters. But it was great. It was a Beatles poster, especially when learning music and just kind of getting into music, and you gotta have your inspirations and bands you kind of like look up to. You know what I mean? So yeah, the Beatles was on there for sure. Number 4. I had a Green Day poster for a moment. I believe it was their Warning poster when Warning came out. And funny enough, I was listening to that album today, just like randomly, and I was just
that's
thinking,
an underrated album.
It is.
That's a
definitely
good record,
dude. It's such a solid record. And I mean all the way through, but I like that kind of last half of the record. Where it has I think it has
I've been waiting. Yeah, it's
waiting. Oh man. So yeah,
which
Green
doesn't
Day.
that sounds waiting doesn't sound like they would have written that. You know what I mean? That sounds so.
It almost sounds like a little bit further in their discography or like their career.
Yes.
It was such a very well put together song.
Yeah.
And so yeah, like with having a Green Day poster, kind of most of the posters I remember from like growing up is like, yeah, kind of the inspirational bands I was listening to, like when I was starting to learn guitar and stuff like that. And Green Day obviously was one of them. So yeah, I had Green Day poster up in my room.
I love that.
Number 3, I actually mentioned this concert I think it's for opening bands, that our list for opening bands, but I actually got a poster from this concert. It's the Boxcar Racer, H2O, and the Used concert at the Warfield, which was, it was like pretty much, it was if you can imagine what a Boxcar Racer was, it was like this little figurine guy inside this little like cardboard box car.
That's cool.
And that's what it was. And it had like spray painted Boxcar Racer, like in their logo look and everything. And then it had the bands, the H2O and the Used, in kind of like that spray paint font. And it was in this like kind of the background was kind of this like burgundy, like reddish color, kind of like how red my my sweater is, and it was. I mean, obviously, it was probably one of those earlier concerts I remember, and then Boxcar Racer. I think one of their. I don't know how long they toured, but it was kind of like their only tour I felt with like that record that came out.
True,
So
yeah.
yeah, so it reminded me so much of that concert, and I was just jazzed off of just seeing them, and it's like, oh, it's a poster that I can put up, and like, oh, I can remember I was at that concert, and I have another poster hanging here from when we went to see the Last Shadow Puppets at the Fillmore, and that
I've
that was
got
a whole
that right over there.
dude, yeah, and I still have it. I have it framed here, and dude, actually, that's funny. April 17th, 2016. It's coming up, like our little
Coming
anniversary
up.
for that. So, um,
What a fun night that was.
yeah, dude, and it makes me think. I wish I saw more shows at the Fillmore because that was their whole thing, right?
It's a great venue.
Great venue. It's got so much history, and of course, every show they produce a poster for, and they kind of
Yep.
add it to their collection, and they give them to the people there. So I would count this one as one of my posters on my list, but I'm kind of going down the memory train.
All right, all right.
But yeah, so number 3, Boxcar Racer, just specifically for that show and just remembering it. Number 2, another pop punk band of the time. I had a Sum 41 poster.
Ooh.
And it was a blacklight poster, dude. It was I remember going to like Spencer's and like buying this blacklight just to like see what it looked like. And
Oh,
it
yeah.
was pretty much like I think it was their like unofficial mascot for I think their earlier records, but it was like a skeleton, and it was like a
Oh,
skeleton,
and he was flipping
and he was like
41.
yeah, like
Yeah.
4-1 with the flip off.
I remember that poster. Yes.
Yeah, and yes, it was super. One, it was like, oh shit, like this is like, wow, this is like my first kind of like mature poster, and like this dude's flipping it off, and yeah, I remember it being like that blacklight poster. So when you turn it on, it would like, I think it had, and they were all into like I think funny enough, like a lot of pop punk bands were into like sweatbands and shit like that. I don't know.
That's right. Yeah.
They
big
were
time.
definitely into that kind of stuff. So it had like a sweatband with I think the Sum 41 like logo on it, and of course they're like, I think Sum 41 they were just like always said they were like Hellraisers or some shit, and they always felt like they were kind of like a heavy metal band, kind of prompting like Satan and shit. So yeah, good parallel from our religious movies. But yeah, so like it was just like such a polarizing like poster, and it was kind of like one of the first posters I had that was just like, yeah, fuck you, and like, yeah. So and yeah,
Sean's real attitude.
yeah, guys,
No one ever
yeah,
gets to see this. I see it all the time.
all the time, guys. So yeah,
Don't fool me.
that was my first kind of blacklight fuck you poster. So for number 2. And then
What was your second blacklight fuck you poster?
I probably had one of those stupid Spencer ones, like with mushrooms or with like flames or some shit like that. But
Yes.
sorry, image is going blurry again. I love this camera, but man, this thing goes like in and out of the focusing.
It's called rack focusing.
Focus. Okay,
It's just rack focusing.
I'll just move on. It'll probably hopefully go. There you go.
There we are.
And then my number 1, dude, is of course, we were big fans of Blink-182. I'm going to do honorable mention. I did have 2 Blink posters. I had, as my honorable mention, I had one that was for Take Off Your Pants and Jacket. And I'm guessing probably one of like the photos from the album, like that inside cover with like, and then of course the stoplight
With all the different, yeah.
Yeah,
all
all
the
the different
symbols for each song.
symbols and stuff. So that was a one I remember, but the one I had was I think when they released Enema of the State, and it was them in their boxers, and they, it was actually like that was far enough that like I remember Travis had like, I think he had like cornrows or something, or he had like braids or something. He had like something crazy with his hair happening, and less tattoos, funny enough. But it was like Blink-182 in their boxers, and
That's great.
you know, that's kind of you know, it reminds me of the image, the back image of Enema of the State, and they're kind of like sitting there like, oh, we're good, you know, you're in the hospital, like. So yeah, it just, I don't know. I was such a huge fan. Like I mean, you know, I still love Blink, but like I was such a huge fan of Blink at that time, and
They felt attainable, like oh, we could do that.
exactly, dude. And you know, seeing our like first couple concerts with them, and like you know, being able, yeah, learning some of their songs. It was ideally kind of like, yo, these are like the dudes I worshipped for music and stuff, and learning it. So and then of course it just showed off like how funny they were at that time, and like,
They're a
you
good time.
know, yeah, it was a good time, man. So yeah, that's it, man. That's my 5 for posters. And you know what? I bet you anything I can probably find that Boxcar Racer poster and maybe that Sum 41 poster. I feel like I
You
kept that
should
one.
absolutely put them back up.
I gotta dig deep. I think next time I go home, because I think I have that in like storage somewhere.
Dig
So
deep, and then if you can't find them, dig deeper.
dig deeper, or probably
Dig deeper.
find someone online. But I kind of wish I went to more shows at the Fillmore, dude, because
There's still time.
there
It's
is,
not closed yet.
I know, yeah. I just like collecting the posters because it does remind you of the show that you went to, and kind of the kind of limited artwork too as well
Yeah,
for that show. So, but yeah, that's my top 5, dude.
I love it. I love it.
Nice and easy list right
Very
there.
easy.
Very easy list.
Very easy. Very nice, Jonathan. Do you have anything
Yes.
you'd like to share with our dear, sweet, lovely imaginary audience this week?
I watched a documentary series. This I think I started it before I went to go see you, and then I finished it this week. Like I think I finished it not yesterday, but the day before, when got my shot, and I was just kind of like bedridden for like a day. I watched the QAnon Into the Storm documentary on HBO Max. It's about obviously the QAnon movement, and pretty much this filmmaker tries to find the origins of who Q was and the kind of originator of that movement, and kind of putting those ideas and thoughts into people's and conspiracies into people's heads. It's very interesting because it just shows, one, the power of the internet again, and for, you know, people on forums, and being able to be especially the person of Q was on 8chan, which is a anonymous posting forum when there's tons of crazy shit on there, and I don't know if it's called 8chan anymore. I think they renamed their forum, but just shows, man, like you can be completely anonymous and still have an influence on the masses, I would
Of
say.
course.
So and of course it goes into, you know, how Q created those posts, and then how people and social media, and you know, groups like MAGA, and like all these other groups kind of attached on to this idea, and kind of brought it elsewhere into the masses. And that also coincided with some of the recent events, like the Capitol being stormed, which is crazy because the documentary has like all that footage in there. So it's like, you know, it's very interesting to see a documentary that has like, okay, these are like recent events that just happened. So yeah, it's very interesting. And by the end of the documentary, I would say the filmmaker uncovers his theory of who that Q person is, which is actually very interesting, of a theory. It's not confirmed though, like who that person really is, because it's still anonymous. But it's very interesting, and almost kind of flies underneath your nose throughout the whole documentary. So yeah,
Ooh.
I'd say check it out. And then the other thing I watched was Kong versus Godzilla. Again, you know, wasn't expecting a great movie, but you know, hey, I got to see Kong versus Godzilla and tear some shit apart. So,
Well, there you go.
there you go, man. That's pretty much my movie doc recommendations this
I
week
like
for
it.
you guys. Yeah, Joey, what do you have to share this week, dude?
I too have a doc to share. I
Nice. Okay.
watched the new Ken Burns Hemingway documentary
Oh,
on
okay.
PBS. It's 3 episodes long. They put a very 2021 spin on it of and he also had a secret life of androgyny and sexual, uh fluidity, and it's just like, all right, but like the drinking and the manly, all that shit
Yeah.
far, you know what I mean? That's, I don't know. What am I trying to say? It's a classic Ken Burns documentary. I enjoyed it. Um but yeah, I like Hemingway though. So it was kind of, well, I like his writing. I don't He's terrible. Watch this. You want, like, it's like both his sons like disowned him and shit, and like it's wild the way he treated people. And some of that was probably a lot of mental illness that went undiagnosed, but it's wild. It's pretty wild. It's good.
Damn.
I
Okay.
liked it. Yeah. Hemingway.
PBS. That's cool. They're
PBS, yeah.
making some docs.
So they are still doing it. But yeah, I enjoyed it. Have you ever read Hemingway?
No, not really, but I know of him, and I think that kind of piques my curiosity now that there's a current documentary on him, because I would love to
Well,
know more about him.
I think it's not long. I think it's less than 200 pages long. You should read A Movable Feast.
A
That's
Movable
the book that
Feast.
made
Okay.
me choose, like, all right, yeah, Paris. This is where I'm gonna, And then
Oh,
we went to Paris.
that's right. I remember you.
And he talks a lot about the bookstore
A
that we went to,
Movable
Shakespeare Company.
Feast.
And they interview, or you see old interview footage of uh, Beecher. I forget her first name. She owned the bookstore. I bought her book. Um,
Oh yeah, that's
so,
right.
and
Okay.
she's just a fun, kind of old lady when they interview her, and just like talks really loud, and very. She's wonderful. So it's cool to see stuff like that.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Dude, I like
Hemingway.
that.
Yeah.
Little documentary recommendations
Look at
tonight,
us.
dude.
We're learned. We are learned. Um, Jonathan,
Yes.
where can we find more of your work on the internet this week, my friend?
You guys can find me on Instagram at Sean Day Music. I'm also on Twitter. I got to start posting more, but I've been trying to share stuff with our show on there as well. Retweet, as they say. Um,
Retweet
retweets.
is retweet.
Retweets.
Retweet.
Retweets. But yeah, you can find me on the same tag at Sean Day Music, and also on my website, seandaymusic.net. Joey, where can we find you on the internet?
You can check me out on Twitter and on Instagram at Joey Parati, and on my website, joeyparati.com. You can check out the show at Top 5 Pod. It's TOPFIVE 5 POD. On Instagram, on Twitter at gmail.com. On YouTube, we're on Anchor and Spotify and SoundCloud. And we're also on Facebook at Top 5 Podcast. So please give us a like, give us a listen, give us a follow, give us your love, and we will give you, Jonathan.
Man, we'll just give you so much more loves, kisses in return.
We'll give you some loves, kisses in return. Until next time, I'm Joey Parati.
And I'm Sean Day.
Thanks for listening. We're clear.